Outgoing Deputy Chief of Mission at the U.S. Embassy in Georgetown, Guyana, Bryan Hunt, is of the view that Guyana would be doing itself a disservice if it were to only take advice on national matters from Guyanese while ignoring international partners. He made that statement on the Gordon Mosely radio show yesterday morning. That comment came from a recent statement made by opposition leader Bharrat Jagdeo that the government of Guyana was allowing many of its policies and programs to be influenced by foreign intervention. But at a post-cabinet media briefing yesterday, stern rebuke also came from Cabinet Secretary Joe Harmon on the opposition leader's outbursts.
He saw it as an insult.
Well, that is Mr. Jagdeo's perception. And I don't know when Dr. Jagdeo wakes up in the morning what goes on in his head. So, you can expect anything to come out based on what he's thinking at that particular point in time. How could he say that this is an insult? When his government had been in office for 23 years, he must say whether in fact he left a workable plan.
Jagdeo also believes that the government should take less of the advice being offered. Mr. Harmon further stated that the plan the former president left was not a workable plan and certainly not useful for the development of Guyana.
Because you're opposition, you just sit down and oppose everything that is being done without at least offering some kind of alternative, or since you were in government for such a long time, to say how you would have done it. So I'm not amused by these statements that are made by Mr. Jagdeo about everything that has to do with government, about acting alone. I think he made some statement that Trotman alone doing things and so on.
Mr. Harmon said the coalition government works with a cabinet and not a one-man government.
This government, we act through consultation, consensus. We work in a cabinet that meets every Tuesday. And we are not a one-man government as Dr. Jagdeo, as Bharrat Jagdeo ran. He could say this and he could say that because nobody else would have to know, because he was the president. And he was the president for a long time. So it is not, in my view, fitting for a former president who had been in the saddle as a president and before that as a minister of finance to come and say that this is not a plan. Where was his plan?
Rihanna, Mr. Hunt also stated that while the government may need to see if the advice being offered made sense, it would only be doing itself a disservice if it were to completely ignore the advice being offered by others. Rihanna?